Hello everybody, in this video we're going to be replacing a PCV valve on an Audi or a Volkswagen with the 2.0 Tsi engine. I will also show you some of the codes and symptoms that you may have with this problem. I'm Brian Eslick from How to Automotive, and we're going to get started. So we'll start with the symptoms and codes. Some of the codes you're going to see are lean codes. The description for this code is lean at idle. You'll see in P0171, those type of codes. Those are set because when the PCV valve fails, it's a large vacuum leak. It's creating vacuum leaks and causing lean running conditions. So those are the type of codes you'll see. So now we're going to go under the hood and I'm going to show you some other symptoms. We're going to pop off the top engine cover. So once you get this top engine cover removed, we're going to start the engine and let it idle, and you're going to listen for a whistling noise. It may also be making hissing noises. And then one of the other things you can do is try to pull the oil cap off with the engine running. And if it has like a large suction on it and it's hard to pull it off, that's another indication that the PCV valve has malfunctioned. It could also be idling really rough, and if you give it a little throttle, it clears up. So now we're going to get started removing the PCV valve, and this is the part numbers here. So we're going to start by taking this vent line off here. You're just going to squeeze the little tab and pull this hose off. Now to get out of our way, we can just lightly rotate it like this. It spins on the little seal down there, so just rotate it out of your way. Next, we're going to need to pop the ignition coils up. I just use a flat blade screwdriver and lift it underneath. And once you get them popped up a little bit like this, then you can unplug them. We need to get some slack in the wiring harness. There will also be a screw holding the wiring harness to the top of the valve cover. You need to remove that. It was missing on my vehicle. After you get that removed, then you can pull the connectors off. So you're just going to squeeze the little tabs and pull the connectors back, and then you can lift the coils up and then pull them out and set them aside. If you're having trouble, you can also unplug the solenoids here. So you just push the little clips and unplug them, and that'll allow you to lift the harness up. Now there's going to be 9 T30 torque screws that we need to remove on the PCV valve. So you just start at one and just follow it around the perimeter of the PCV valve, removing all 9 of the torque screws. Once you get it unbolted, you're going to lift it up slightly, and then you're going to pull the hose off right here. It's mounted in the bottom right hand corner of it. So you're going to pull it up, and you're going to pull it, separate those. You don't want to twist or anything because there's a little port on there that you don't want to break off on the hose. Now that we got the valve off, we want to clean up the mating surface. You want to be careful not to knock the dirt or debris into the engine, so you want to wipe away and get the mating surface all cleaned up. Here are the part numbers for the parts that we're going to be installed. I will link these up in the description of the video. So now we're going to plug the PCV valve back into the pipe. You want to make sure that little nipple lines up and goes in. And then once you get those together, then you put the PCV valve on the valve cover over the original location. And then you can start all the bolts by hand. So I tried looking up torque specs for it, so I couldn't find it for you guys. But what I did was I just ran them down all the way until they're all snug, and then I tightened about a quarter turn more. You want to remember you're tightening up on plastic. And I also did this in a kind of a crisscross pattern. So I just started at one bolt and just kind of made the X pattern back and forth, working around the PCV valve until all 9 of the fasteners were completely tightened down. After they're all tightened, I rotated the vent line back into position and then plugged it back in. So you want to push it on until you hear it click, and you want to give it a little pull to make sure it doesn't pop back off. After that, I reinstalled the ignition coils and plugged them in. And once you get them plugged in, you push them down until they fully seat. And then you want to double check that the harnesses are plugged in by squeezing those connectors onto the coils like this until they're all connected. And then if you unplugged any of the solenoid packs, you can plug those back in now and also start the bolt that's holding the harness down to the valve cover. Now you can go ahead and install the top engine cover, and you just line it up with the tabs on the top of the valve cover and just push down. It's just kind of mounted with rubber grommet. With a bad PCV valve, you're most likely going to have check engine light on, so you need to clear those codes now. After you clear the codes, you can fire the vehicle off and just double check for vacuum leaks. That'll complete the job of replacing the PCV valve. I will link up all the parts and tools that I use in this video in the description. That way, if you need to pick up any of those, you can find those there. I'm Brian Eslick from How to Automotive. I'd like to thank you guys for watching my videos, encourage you to subscribe, invite you to head over to the howtoautomotive.com website for more valuable videos like this, and also to remind you when it comes to working on cars, experience is everything. Thank you again for watching.